Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Raul.
And it's Mike.
And we'd like to welcome you to episode 40 of the AO
Motherfucking
podcast.
40.
Wow, I can't believe we've been fucking doing 40 of these now.
No, it's insane, and we just keep doing them, and it's like I like how we just keep doing them, even if it is just for us, because
Except for that last Grammy one that suddenly it got more views.
It got more views instead of 3 views. It got like 300 or 400. It's like kind of insane. Probably not that much, but it was more than
like
most.
140 something.
Oh, okay. I just over exaggerated my own numbers.
Still, even though
I was
for
fucking
us,
Drake.
But for us, I was like, damn, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's really wild because I think we make one of the most
shut up
unappealing podcasts.
Wow, I would hate. You're gonna be fucking horrible. If we ever do blow up on fucking press runs and shit, you know what? Don't watch it.
Literally, that's what.
But
it's fun though. Even though our friends are like, "This is just 10 minutes of you guys coughing." I'm like, "That's what makes it funny."
That was one episode.
That what makes it funny.
It's probably happened more than once.
It's definitely happened more than once. Remember the one episode where we took the drink at the same time, and even in the video, I was like, "Can you just cut that?" And you didn't.
Oh yeah.
And you didn't cut it. It's like your refusal to cut shit, but it's also what makes me laugh and makes me funny. So shout out to the people who do listen to it.
Yeah.
So, if you are listening to it right now, we are starting off with a clarification of politics.
Yeah. But
so
before I get into that real quick, make sure you follow the podcast.
Oh yeah. Gotta do that too.
Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
The Instagrams.
And then the links for all of our socials are down in the show. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, making that Blue Sky profile was probably a big fucking mistake.
Why? What?
Because that shit's did not pop off.
No.
Kind of similar with fucking Threads.
Yeah, no, they try to have these alternatives, but the despite how shitty these bigger establishments
people are just gonna stay on Twitter, dude. That's just undeniable.
Yeah, you're just gonna be seeing more racist stuff, but you're still gonna follow the things you're gonna follow. It's it's too established now, you know.
So that
but Elon Musk has been trying to fuck shit up.
But even if you do have a blue sky,
if you do have a bluey sky, follow us on there if you do, and if not, it's all right. It's dead. It's fucking dead.
But anyways, so. Yeah, like Mike said, I do want to give a little bit of clarification to the political shit that I talked about at the beginning of
the fact you started talking about that immediately.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm not gonna lie,
because I didn't expect that. I think maybe
especially.
in the video you could have seen me being like, "What the fuck? I thought we were gonna talk about your birthday."
No, yeah, and I think that the reason why it was so crazy is because I would say out of the two of us, you're definitely the more political one.
Yes.
So that's
I was posting some politics today.
So that's some shit that I would expect you to do. So for me to do that was kind of wild.
Well, it was a little out of left turn, and my girlfriend said, it was my partner said, he was like, it's bad when Raul starts talking about politics. What the fuck? He was like, you didn't even know the man's name.
listen. That's that's why we're doing the clarification now. So. Listen,
and you haven't even uploaded that episode yet.
No, as I'm recording this,
we're recording,
I'm gonna upload it tomorrow. But
it should be up now.
But you guys will see this episode in the following week. But yeah, so with a little bit of the clarification, mainly my point that I was making in the last episode was just
about Trump's behavior.
Yeah, Trump's
not
behavior,
necessarily
not necessarily the situation that was actually going on. So just to clarify, and real quick, before I get into it, I do want to state that again, I don't know all the fucking details. I'm not a political expert, so this is just some shit that I heard, and this is from what I can gather, and this is what I understand to be going on. You can feel free to correct me in the comments if you want, but this is just what I understand of the situation. So basically what had happened is Trump and Vance had a meeting with Zelensky, and
president of Ukraine.
Yeah, and essentially what was going on is, Zelensky was going there to basically get the United States help to try to make some sort of deal with Putin. And now the one thing that I heard, because I listened to both sides of the spectrum speak about this. After that, we did that last episode, just because I wanted to see what both sides were saying about it. And I don't know. This is a detail that I don't know if it's a fact or not. But I heard somebody say that I think Zelensky was the one that actually wanted the media in the room during the meeting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how true that is, but basically, that's what the whole meeting was about. It was just Zelensky trying to get help or trying to get aid from the United States to try to get to some sort of agreement with Russia. But what had ended up happening is, I think it was a combination of like a language barrier and honestly a bruised ego on both Trump and Vance's part to why the
Always
situation escalated the way that it did.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, for the people who have watched
I'm gonna smoke some weed while he talks about politics.
Go ahead and do that. It's probably a good time to do that. But what had happened is, if I remember correctly, if you watch the video that went viral of the confrontation, there was a part where Zelensky said something about how like I think it was Zelensky was talking about how he was explaining how I guess they had previously reached a ceasefire with Russia, but then I guess Putin like blatantly broke that agreement and started attacking them again anyways. And I think that Zelensky was trying to convey that happened like under I don't know if he was just saying under the United States as a whole. Yeah, as a whole, like the supervision of the United States as a whole, or if he specifically said that it was Trump's presidency that let that happen. But I don't think so, because that's when like Trump got kind of annoyed and he was like talking about how no, that was under a stupid I think he said under a stupid president Biden. I don't think he said stupid, but I think he said not smart president Biden.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, like he said worse things. Yeah, that are also funny.
But he said that, and that's when I guess JD Vance had actually made a point earlier. I didn't see that
babyface Vance.
Where he, I guess he made some sort of comment about like diplomacy or something like that, and I think Zelensky called him out on that, like talking about Russia when they broke the ceasefire. So he was like asking Vance, like, oh, like, so when you say like this diplomacy, like, what do you mean, like, JD Vance, like, what do you mean by it? Like what diplomacy was shown there when they broke the ceasefire with us? And that's when like Vance got super fucking pissed off and was like, is like, oh, like you want to talk about diplomacy, and that's when he like said the thing. This is why I think too that people are saying that Zelensky was the one that wanted the media in there. It was because afterwards Vance was like, you want to litigate this in front of the American media. So that's another thing why I think he's the one that might have asked for the cameras.
Yeah.
But then that's when like Vance essentially got really annoyed, and that's when the whole confrontation popped off. Yeah. But after hearing like both sides of it,
and knowing the president's name,
and it makes sense because okay, so from what I understand, the U.S. wants like in exchange for the money that we've sent to them and the aid that we've given them for like the past couple of years, we wanted to strike a minerals deal with them where we would get some of their minerals in return for the aid that we gave them. Which,
like Hank from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, which such a fucking niche fact that I hate. Not only do I hate that I know it, but I hate the fact that you brought it up. Because I knew exactly what you were fucking talking about as soon as you said it.
Marie, Ukraine's got my minerals.
I fucking hate you, dude. You literally just took me out of I was in a zone. And you just fucking took me out of it. But anyways, so they want some minerals in return for the aid and the money that we sent over there.
I'm so sorry.
But I think what happened is Zelensky was trying to get clarification as to if he could count on the U.S. support, because I think rightfully so, he's kind of questionable as to striking a deal with Putin, just because like Putin has, like I said, he's broken that trust before.
Yeah, he will go anywhere.
So he was basically just trying to get confirmation, essentially, that the U.S. would have the Ukraine's back if the Russia were to, like, let's say, like, step out of line again. And that's when I feel like things got kind of messy, because like you can tell that Trump was like trying to like he was like all his actions were saying, oh, like that's not gonna happen or whatever, but
he has the confidence
not,
to say,
not caring if it did, because at in a later point in that video, you hear one of the reporters ask, like, oh, like what if Russia broke the ceasefire like tomorrow or something, and literally Trump's response was like, oh, well, like what if anything, like what if a bomb dropped on your head? Like that's what he literally fucking said.
Like taking all these like non-existent hyperboles and put him into like the fucking like argument. He like I kind of hate like I really like I still think Trump is like a fucking giant fucking piece of shit, but he sounds like he's straight from like a fucking like comedy.
Yeah.
Like, but he's just a piece of shit president in my opinion. But like, you know, it's just like it's moments like these I'm like we are living in like a Micah Judge.
Yeah,
like fucking like cartoon.
This is literally some shit that would be on King of the Hill.
The Silicon Valley fucking like this is like the boss from Silicon Valley.
But anyway, so just kind of to like wrap this part up real quick, because I don't want to spend that much time on it. So
that was the clarification.
Like, again, like taking politics out of it for a sec, or not politics, but our opinions on it. Well, at least my opinion out of it for this quick second. However you feel about them, or however you feel about that deal, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, like this is something that makes sense, especially when you consider like the United States history. Like we're just gonna do all that shit for free. Like, we're gonna want something in return.
We want everything and anything, even if it destroys the earth.
So the deal was like we were gonna get something in return regardless. That's just I think a given, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think the whole conflict is essentially just Zelensky is weary about making a deal with Putin again, and he's weary that Trump is basically just like Trump and the United States is not gonna have the Ukraine's back if Russia were to break the deal. And America, as Trump is like essentially his whole thing is that he just wants to get the deal signed, mainly because he wants to get the minerals. And again, like I said, if you know anything about American politics, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
So just some clarification that I want to give. Like again, I'm not going to give my entire opinion on it. I just wanted to clarify that because, like I said, the last time when I spoke about it in the last episode, it was mainly just so giving my opinion on Trump's behavior. So I just want to give clarification to the actual situation.
Yeah, no.
But now moving on to
I thought that was a good discussion.
Yeah,
I thought that was good.
So moving on to a movie that I checked off my rewatch bucket list recently.
Yeah, and if you don't follow us or even Raul on Letterboxd,
yeah, make sure you follow us on Letterboxd
because Raul's been on a binge.
Yeah, like I'll be honest. Ever since Mike put me on,
you've been on a binge.
Ever since you put me on and told me to get a Letterboxd, like I'm not gonna lie, like it's actually kind of motivated me to like go back and rewatch a lot of movies because like prior to getting the Letterboxd app, I didn't really like have a reason to like go back and watch all these movies.
It's a fun app.
So like now having that app and like being able to like share my opinions on movies, like it makes
and
it
his taste is sure unique.
Shut up.
It's sure unique.
And it makes for like a fun time, like actually like being able to give an opinion or like. Well, for me, the thing that I enjoy most are the rewatchables. Yeah. Because those are movies that I've obviously seen already, but like it's for like especially like. Or no, like specifically with this movie that I'm about to talk about right now, this is a movie that I haven't watched since I originally watched it in theaters when it was out. So I haven't seen it since then, and this is a movie from like 2018.
Yeah.
So it's been a few years. And the movie that I'm talking about is an A24 movie directed by Bo Burnham called Eighth Grade, and it stars Isla Fisher, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's basically a movie that just follows an eighth grade girl who's about to go into high school. And the thing that I like about this movie, I'm not going to give a full review, but the thing that I like about this movie is that it does a really nice job of conveying that all those like cringe moments that we all remember from being in middle school. I think that this is one of the few movies that actually does that really well.
Yeah, it's Elsie Fisher, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, the was correcting it. Yeah, and I think I also like. I was the one that suggested this one because I really wanted to see it.
Yeah,
and then I was like, are you guys? And this was back when like you guys are actually like down to watch the artsy shit, or, like the indie shit that I was like
this back
into.
when we were like when it was the whole crew going to the movies?
Yeah, back when there was just like 5 of us going to like the movies, and we would get suggestions from
because we did that for a while.
Yeah, it'd be like, hey, you want to watch this one? I was like, sure.
You know what I miss?
Yeah, you know what? The fact you had the worst suggestions because you made us go to see All Eyes on Me, which was such a fucking terrible. I was like, he really just hit the plant.
That's still my favorite fucking scene of that movie, that shitty ass movie.
But also you guys also didn't like all the choices I picked. I think at the time you guys thought.
Wait, which one do you think we hated the most?
I think with
like the whole crew.
With like the whole crew, fuck.
Because there's got to be one where like you wanted to watch it, but like afterwards you're like, nah.
I was so like, and sometimes it'll just be either,
or at least a majority of us.
A majority of us, okay. Honestly, I think the most of it because like I know like I think we took 4 people. I don't think two of us liked it. It was like 8th grade or mid-90s, one of those. Like no, Midsummer. Yeah, no, it's Midsummer. Yeah, no. Yeah. Fucking David and Luis hated that shit. They fucking they did not like that movie. And I didn't like it.
Oh, wait, but I didn't go with you when you first watched it.
No, you were like hesitant. You didn't want to see any of those movies. You're like anything about that artsy horror shit? Nah, fuck that. It was like, especially if it was like A24 cuz you already had like a shoddy reputation for.
Did they like Mandy?
Mandy. No, they didn't do Mandy, but like you didn't like that, like shit like that. They made movies like Mandy at the time, so it's just like you were like.
So I think that's why I'm asking. Is that probably one that like a majority of us didn't like?
Yeah, that's probably.
I don't remember like the people because I remember when we went. I remember that movie because we went to a different theater to go watch it.
Free to cinema.
Yeah. So that's why I remember that one, but I don't remember what like everybody's opinion on it was.
No, I think that one was like but I think David wanted to see that more because it had Nick Cage and he was in this like artsy shit, so it's just like, no, that makes sense. That would make sense because that's a very polarizing movie if you're not into that shit. Because especially that was like one of the first times you went to see it in a theater. Yeah, it's just a scene with like a man with his dick out for 10 minutes.
I fucking hate you for that, by the way, because I think that's the first movie that happened.
And then every time we go watch a movie, there's always someone with their dick out.
Bro, I fucking hate you. That's what I've noticed. I've noticed with like these last couple of movies that I've gone that you wanted me to go see. Like, I'm either seeing a dick or I'm seeing like man cheeks that I don't like.
Because The Substance had some like major man cheeks.
Like, you know what I hated the most because it was so fucking random and unnecessary. Remember when she like goes into the bathroom because she's turning into like the old fucking like hunchback lady.
Yeah.
And like the boyfriend's all like, oh, like, honey, what's up? And she's like, get out of here or whatever. And he's running away and they just have like a quick shot of his ass. Like
his ass jiggling as he's fucking running towards the fucking clothes.
Like, we didn't need that.
Yeah, but like I think that was a wild tangent. So I'm sorry but like I took you guys to see this movie, and I think you did like it at the time.
Yeah. But but I'll get into it right now. Mm-hmm. So, I will say, luckily after rewatching it recently, I actually feel the same way that I did about it back then. So I really enjoyed it because I do think that it, like I said, it captures the
cringe.
Like that whole cringe from middle school, like going into high school that we all remember. And not only that, but it's actually really fucking funny.
Yeah. Like, I know it's like references memes from that era.
Yeah.
But like, also we like the memes from that era. But so like when LeBron James is shouted out of nowhere, it's fucking
and then the
hilarious.
Fucking teacher just fucking dabbing.
I know. Yeah.
But no,
I just dabbed the other day.
Fuck up, man. But so
I love the dab.
If people like do smoke weed, they're gonna see something different.
Is it raining right now? What the fuck?
It is?
Yeah, okay. It was very sunny. It was very sunny.
Yeah, it was.
Earlier.
It was.
It's raining now.
That's that bipolar California weather.
That was.
So enjoy the ambiance, I guess. But,
okay, it's not good. It's gonna rain for 20 minutes. Only 20 minutes, and boom, it's done.
Yeah.
Fucking hate this shit,
it's gonna be
man.
To again, man. You just gotta give it a minute, man.
You just gotta give it the worst storm could come for like only 10 minutes and be gone for like 20 years. Like it
literally was sunny as shit when we fucking came in here.
Like I was like, oh, they're over there. Now they're over here. That's
right.
Crazy.
But
yeah, but you like 8th grade.
No, yeah. So I still do really like it. The only thing that I will say that I actually kind of want you now to rewatch the movie just because I want to see if you share my opinion of it.
I'll try to rewatch it soon then.
Because I like it, but I will without giving any spoilers because I do want people to see it.
There's a certain intense scene in there.
There's a scene that happens like towards the end of the movie that shifts the tone of the movie for me completely because prior to that scene you have like a very like light-hearted and funny type of like coming of age movie,
even though it does talk about like some like topics parents have difficulty talking about to their
but I
to
mean
their adolescents.
it's in a comedic, it's brought to you in a comedic way, whereas this one like it's very serious and like dark. And the thing like if you watch the movie, I understand why they had a scene like that, not like specifically like that, but in that type of like, or like have that type of negative scene because it leads to it leads to another scene where she has like a heartfelt conversation with her dad. But I feel like they could have used either cut that out or no, not cut that out because they needed a scene like that, but they could have used a less serious way to reach that heartfelt conversation with her dad. Like it could have been something way more like lighthearted and dumb, like something that would upset a teenage girl at that age.
Yeah.
So, because I just don't think that them going all like that far left to get to that other part of the movie was really not necessary.
And because I remember the scene vividly, because I think remembering it, that's why I'm gonna rewatch it just so I could be like, let's see if this makes sense. But now when I think about it, it's just like, even if it was going to have that serious scene, it needed to have like other serious type scenes before it, like one or two to set that tone.
Prior to that scene, like the movie's really lighthearted.
Yeah, but also I could see the argument where it's like, well, it's like shit like that happens really quickly, really fast without people knowing it.
I get
but
that,
also,
but
I don't agree with that for this movie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't like it in the context of this movie.
Yeah, so I will rewatch it. I haven't thought about that movie in ages, and that's a solid movie. I love that movie when that came out, so I'll definitely rewatch it and see if I feel the same way.
You know
what the fuck?
What?
It was a fucking loud fucking thunder noise. I was like, I don't know. Let's see. Hopefully you can hear it in the audio, or else I'll sound insane. But like, oh my god,
it's just like you being high as fuck, just hearing shit.
I know the rain's not happening. It's just in my head.
No, but
but yeah, 8th grade. Cool
it was
movie.
a really good movie. You know what? Like real quick before we get into the Ice Spice album,
we're talking about a lot. Ukraine, 8th grade, Ice Spice.
What's it called? You know what movie I'm really nervous to rewatch just because I think I'm gonna. Because I remember originally hating the fuck out of the ending.
Yeah.
And I think it's still gonna be and I still think that's gonna be the case when I rewatch it. Mid-90s.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things I love in that movie, but I also think it's like a fucking mess. But so I also need to rewatch it. That's also a movie I haven't seen in years.
Yeah, that's one that I definitely need to rewatch. But I remember specifically not liking the ending.
You know, it's crazy because we were talking about this earlier too when we were talking about what the things we're going to talk about on the fucking podcast. You were like, I was mentioning you're bringing up movies that like bring me back to that age, and like, you know, and they're not like super popular movies, but like, you know, they did come out that time. We went.
That fucking hit you late, huh?
I was like, what? I was like, I knew it was coming too. I think you hear it in my voice trying to like fucking wind it down, but nah.
Fucking white.
Oh man. You know, it's nostalgic now. I can't believe how old we are. That fucking like the movies like 8th grade and mid-90s are like near to a decade old. I'm not saying they are, but like they're near there. Like they're 3 years away from being a decade old, which is insane. And we'll talk about being old more on the podcast. But like, you know, follow Raul on Letterboxd to see his rewatches and his new watches because they always surprise me. I forgot the name of a movie, but someone told me about like a Velocipriest, where it's like a priest turning into a Velociraptor.
What the fuck?
So I gotta look that up. Recommend it to you. We might watch it soon.
It's an American movie, right?
Probably. Let's you know. It sounds like it. Like you think fucking like, you know, the Ukraine's gonna make a movie about fucking Velociraptor. Russia, yes. Ukraine, I don't know. You know, but like check out both Ukrainian and Russian cinema. Some of the best cinema in history comes from those two places. You know, so yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go.
That was wild. Oh my god.
I'm not saying like the countries, but like the cinema, like Andrei Tarkovsky. I'm like, oh shit, y'all need to watch that shit. Y'all might fall asleep, but it's good. It's good. It's good things to fall asleep to.
You need to watch it. You might fall asleep.
And it's awesome.
That's an option
I don't.
If I've ever heard one.
I mean, I don't. So because they're amazing.
But no. So, anyways, pull up the fucking Ice Spice album.
Yeah.
So if you guys saw the last episode, you would know that this is our bad album review for the month of March.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into it.
I fucking hate the cover so much.
So, yeah,
that's the first thing I see. I'm like, fuck, bro, so
okay. So yeah,
much.
So for those of you who were reviewing her album, which was actually her debut album. And yeah, that cover, if you've seen it, it's not great.
I like, you know, I think the angle's like crazy. I think it's drawn horribly. I don't like everything about it is just disturbing to me. It's like a shittily drawn like fucking like nah. Yeah. Then like first of all, it's not even an album. It's 16 minutes. Fucking like a Pink Floyd song is like twice as that length, you know. So it's just like, and I listened to it. Honestly, I didn't. Going into it thinking it's gonna be like a piece of fucking dog shit. It's not that entirely, you know. It's like, I'll say this right now, out of all the albums we talked about, this one to me at least is the most listenable.
Yeah, wait, so what do we've had? So we had like Chance the Rapper,
MGK and Green Day.
Those are the three, right?
Yeah. What a streak of shitty albums. God damn.
You know what? You're gonna hate me for this, but to be fair too, like this didn't mean as much to me as it did to you. Mm-hmm. So this is probably why I can digest it more. Mm-hmm. But I would say like my list right now currently with this album, mm-hmm. I would still say that Green Day is like, I think that's the most listenable one for me.
Makes sense.
Then second, I would put surprisingly Ice Spice, mm-hmm. and then third I would have MGK, and then fourth is that fucking Chance album, man. That length, I can't fucking do it.
Your reaction to when I was a teenager is still one of the funniest things I've ever
read. That's such a fucking stupid ass, like what fucking type of Dr. Seuss ass fucking thing is that for like a song, dude?
It's a Green Day, but like so it was Green Day, and then which?
So it's Green Day for me. It's Green Day, Ice Spice, MGK, and then Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, that Chance the Rapper is still like the worst ones of war.
Is
that length is crazy. It's like a fucking like, you know, it feels 3 hours, you know. And I like, I mean, fuck, I had like the other album we're gonna talk about, but
okay, wait. So start out. Let's just quickly like run through the tracks.
Yeah, let's quickly. Where Where is it? There it is. I
Fuck,
could.
sounded like, you know what you sounded like right now? Sounded like fucking Dory talking to the whale and shit.
I know that scene vividly. I didn't even realize I was just talking slowly. I did not realize how low my fucking voice was.
Dory ass motherfucker.
Dory ass sound. That's crazy. That's fucking hilarious. But like in her mood, not a good start. I think the beat's fine, you know, and like I guess Ice Spice's flow wouldn't bother me that much if it wasn't the same fucking flow in all the shit she's done. Like, you know, it's funny because like there's a deluxe with a new opening.
Oh yeah, well, real quick to get that out of the way, Mike actually ended up listening to the deluxe version, and I only listened to the regular one.
Yeah, so I got duped into listening more songs from a fucking Ice Spice. You know, and then the first track off of that is actually probably the best thing she's ever fucking made. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, not even good.
Mike,
but like
Mike, for a fucking Ice Spice album, why would you voluntarily just check out the deluxe version? Why wouldn't you just say fucking and listen? I didn't
look at the words deluxe. That's it. All right, I didn't fucking read it all the way.
Out of all the fucking
you think I wanted to fucking do this? You think I want to be like, oh, this is the deluxe, you know? He's like, let me torture myself more.
Why would you want more?
But like that first track is easily like the best she's ever made, and it's just decent, you know. And it's like, you know, fine, whatever. But like the actual first track in her mood, kind of awful.
Yeah,
kind of fucking awful.
Not a great start.
Not only that, you know, she has 2 songs on here twice. And for this first version, not even the fucking deluxe. You got Princess Diana, which is like, all right, it is fine for what it is. I'm not gonna fucking listen to this. And then the remix.
Wait.
The first part, Princess Diana didn't have Nicki Minaj, and then Princess Diana comes in again.
Oh, wait.
Starring fucking Nicki Minaj.
Wait.
Like, look, it's Princess Diana, and then Princess Diana with Nicki Minaj.
Wait, hold on, because I don't know if it said that. Like, because I watched it, I listened to it through YouTube Music.
Oh, okay. So Spotify's just fuckery like that.
Yeah, let me just see. I'm gonna just check real quick.
Which Nicki Minaj did have like a decent verse.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Nicki Minaj was the best part about that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Oh no, yeah, it fucking does have it twice.
Yeah, it does.
Wait a minute. This is not on the fucking deluxe version either. What? Who the?
Wait. The regular ass version just has the song twice.
I hate this album a little bit more now, because what the fuck is that bullshit, dude? It's literally the same fucking track twice.
And the deluxe version has it switched on Spotify. It's just like switched around the order. Oh my god.
It's fucking wild. I hate that you pointed that out. Because if you would have said shit, I wouldn't know. Probably.
Oh my god, I'm just like, fucking really? I have to fucking hear this shit twice? Which is just fine, like, okay, fine, whatever, like, good garbage music, I guess. You know, because, like, the beats are nice on that song, you know, if you just tone out everything else, you know, and, like, Gangsta Boo with, you know, Lil TJ?
Yeah. I actually like him. He's pretty dope.
Yeah, he was good on this track, too. And I think the Gangsta Boo one is like probably like one of my, I guess, more favorite ones. I guess because I thought like that beat and like the way she, you know, the way she always flows, like just fit that beat. And then you know, he had a good verse on it. I only listened to this like twice, and it's not like a long album. I listened to it this morning right before I went to pick up Raul.
I listened to it last night.
You know, so I'm just like, oh Jesus! I think acting a smoochie. I fucking hate the fucking. I just fucking
acting. That's another one. That's a pretty fucking horrible name for a song.
I fucking don't like that title at all. I kind of don't remember if I do like it or not, but I kind of don't want to say I like a song called "Acting a Smoochie," and I have pretty low standards.
If you were to ever fucking say that phrase to me out of this context,
you're acting a smoochie.
Like I would fucking never talk to you again.
You're like, all right, dudes, I know we've been friends for like 15 years, but I gotta unfollow you and distance from you now.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Actually, there's another song on the deluxe actually called Deli. where she's like, I'm the shit, I'm Miss Poopy. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just hear in my fucking ear? You know, and this isn't a song made by fucking me or like the South Park people, because I would expect that. But like the Ice Spice just say that unironically is fucking, it sucks so. And she always has these fucking poo, fart, asshole shit bars that just fucking make me like insane. I'm like not even trying to be creative with like the shit jokes that she's trying and the shit metaphor she's trying to make. You know, you look at an episode of South Park or like even Conker's Bad Fur Day and see like the eloquence of how they make shit like really funny. But here it's just fucking like dog shit, actual poopy. Fucking actual poopy caca fucking out asshole fucking butthole.
So to like kind of wrap up this,
and
like,
Bikini Bottom is the worst fucking track on this fucking shit.
Yeah, you were gonna go in on
that beat. I fucking that was so fucking annoying. It was so fucking annoying and shit. And I'm just like, it's trying to, you know, it's like her attempt of trying to sound like a SpongeBob type fucking song, but like that beat is so fucking trash. Like it was like horrible to listen to. Like even though it's like 16 minutes, the regular version, and the deluxe is only 24, and both of them have the same fucking song again and again. The deluxe I would understand, but for it to come in the actual EP, you could just be like, I just put some shit on it, put it out, they'll listen to it, I'm getting popular, let's get pop. And this came out January 2023, but and then like she blew up in that fucking year, being on the fucking Barbie soundtrack. You know, it's like fucking, this was her year, and the fact that like this
that beat is really fucking horrible.
Like it's like the off key fucking strings like that, like it was warped to sounding like fucking worse. I was like, oh god. And it just kept looking. And then the most popular one, which is the last song in this fucking,
which was basically the song that like
wait, she, you know, the Munch, you know, feeling you. Ugh. Oh, I can't even say it all the way without like, you know.
But yeah, so Munch, that was the song that like basically initially blew her up.
Yeah.
And I knew like from the very first moment that I heard that song, I knew that I wasn't gonna like her as an artist.
No.
Because it's just like I don't know what it is to me. Like her, I was gonna say this. So my opinion, just to wrap it up of the album, is I thought the features were solid, and I thought the production was actually pretty good in some parts.
Yeah, they were okay.
And I did think that the production was good in some parts.
Production does feel nice. If you just put in background music, I guess it you know, it does the fucking job, I guess.
No, well, because I mean, you could hear better people on some tracks.
Yeah, true.
But what I was gonna say, my biggest issue with this album is actually Ice Spice herself. And the reason why I say that
it's just the same shit.
It doesn't
all
like
the time.
With her, like when I listen to her and I see her, nothing really conveys like that kind of star quality factor that you get with like other artists. And my biggest comparison to her, like when I bring that argument up, is Sexy Red. Because Sexy Red is somebody who, again, like I'm not the biggest fan of her music either, but I actually like her as a person because she has that like star personality. Like you can see why people like her. And
she's funny whenever she does get like an actual place to shine. She like kills like whatever it is she needs to kill, you know? It's just like, you know, like Sticky, like that you know, her on that, you sure she didn't add a whole lot to it, but like her part was fucking like funny as hell and worked for the song. Like that shit is like she had the best verse.
My point is when fucking Sexy Red says like what is the shit that she's like, we don't fight for respect.
I don't fight for my respect, bitch. I fight for dick.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, rocky shit.
Like Sexy Red.
And then in the background, she's like fucking like get those kids out the motherfucking street.
Like listen. Like, Sexy Red can say something like that, and we know that she fucking means that shit. Whereas, like, with Ice Spice, like, I don't really, like, she doesn't convey any feeling out of me, like, when I listen to her.
No. So,
that's, like, my biggest issue with it. Like, I said, like, so, this, like, I didn't, again, not, like, definitely not an album that I'm ever gonna go back to. But as far as, like, for a first-time listen and comparing the albums that we have heard, I mean, it's definitely
we've listened to worse.
Yeah, it's definitely way.
If this
more
was like an
listenable.
hour long, I would have like fucking jumped off a roof. Yeah. I would have been like, good, rest in peace.
Then you would have fucking ended up in hell, and all you would have fucking heard was like,
it was like, you much, I'm this poopy, I'm the shit.
Hey,
yeah,
what if that was like, what if like,
it was like my fifth circle of hell.
Like your own personal hell was like, you just got to listen to fucking music that you absolutely hated.
Like,
all
it
day.
was fucking like Dante and Virgil are gonna come visit me, and like, it is I, Mike. He's like, I'm here to force you to listen to the Ice Spice for 4,000 eternities and shit, you know. You know, he's like, this Dante is why you should have but I fucking recite my own Dante's Inferno, but with fucking me and Ice Spice.
No, but so that's my opinion of the album.
Yeah,
what did you think?
It's fucking garbage, but like, it's like fucking like I could listen to it in the background if I could just tune it out. You know, because she does that like fucking triplet ass flow all the time. It's not a bad flow, but she just uses it so fucking much. But you tune it out, you know.
And also, real quick to bring that
some of the songs, you know, you could just put out and just put in the background.
To bring it up that you said that about her flow. Another issue that I have is that I've heard other artists with their similar flow who do it way better. Way better.
You know what's funny? That deluxe version, how high, like that, the way it starts off the deluxe version, she like takes it back and like focuses on like enunciation and like talking about like how someone like broke up with her and like how her dealing with it, and then she made it. It was like, oh wow, it's just surface level still as fuck, but like it's actual depth of like her, who she is as like a person, and like even as a rapper, she like was like punching in better. I'm like, oh shit, but that's like the only song ever she's ever done that shit. You know, everything else is just like, I'm poopy shit, caca fart. You know, it's just like, I can't listen to this album. But that being said, it is, for me personally, the other three, I'd rather put this on, just tune it out in the background than listen to fucking MGK on that fucking like bed squeak fucking beat, you know, in that fucking first song. Hell no.
Oh, wait.
So all these songs here are better than Rap Devil.
Wait, I was gonna say, so I don't remember, I literally don't remember if you already said it, but what's like your order of your list?
My order. It was most listenable to least listenable.
Yeah.
The Ice Spice one. Oh shit! Fuck, it gets hard here. Oh shit! The MGK. Oh no. Fuck no.
Damn.
No. MGK, Green Day, and the Chance. Cause that Chance album's too long. You know what? No.
Mid edit.
Yeah, mid edit right now. Ice Spice, Chance the Rapper, MGK, and Green Day. I'd rather listen to that long ass song because some of those songs have like really good beats.
Jesus Christ, man.
But like that MGK, I can't fucking stand that man. I can't stand that fucking album either. My Green, I can't. Even though they're short, I can't. I fucking can't.
Like,
I can't.
How are you making that journey all the way through those tracks, man?
It is. There's some good ones there. You know, I think it's more of a comedy now since he's divorced. So you'll be able to listen to it and laugh.
Why are you constantly unnecessarily taking shots at this man? Like, don't you think
you brought it up in the first place? I didn't want to review the album until you let's talk about it because his divorce.
Not say anything that would make you bring up his divorce right now. Like, you just willingly did that shit.
I'm making a comparison. Alright,
so what is happiness?
That's fucked up, actually. That might be more innocent than what I said. I just made fun of his marriage. You made fun of the man. Yeah, anyways. Bad album, Ice Spice album. You know.
Oh, wait, how long have we been going now?
44 minutes.
Alright, let's get to the Kendrick album because we're probably going to take a while with that.
Yeah. And then
so now
transition to this Kendrick album.
So now to actually fucking absolute classic album.
Yeah, let's talk about something really masterful and a masterpiece that has impacted not only us when it came out, but a lot of other people. Considered one of the most important rap albums ever made. One of the best rap albums ever made. one of the most influential, To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
Yep. So,
Came out, by the time this episode should air, March 16th, 2015, it came out.
damn, 10 years.
10 years ago. And we were there when we first heard this album.
Yeah.
And
this album was on repeat for me when it came out.
And it made me realize, because this was just as I was transitioning into like getting more into hip hop.
Now, and this one
general.
I will say is a special album to me specifically because I'll be honest, like I never really, like at the time, I never really listened fully to Good Kid, Mad City.
Mm-hmm.
I only knew some of the singles off of it, like Swimming Pools, Poetic Justice, and Money Trees.
Yeah.
But I never, and Mad City too. But I never actually went into that album. But I remember when To Pimp a Butterfly came out, that was like the first full-length Kendrick album that I ever listened to.
Mm.
So this is like a really special album for me because it's what essentially put me on to Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, and for me, this was just when I was getting into hip hop like that, and like actually being inspired to write, like to actually rap. At the time, everybody was so shocked that I was gonna do that, and like when I was gonna go into that, I was listening to this, and I heard Good Kid, Mad City. I heard Section 80 even at that time, and I was like, man, this man is really, really good. And I didn't listen to, I wasn't like a hip hop head. I was just getting into like the basics, like the Nas, the Biggies, the Tupacs. Even at that time was like classic artists that weren't like the artists that were coming out in the 2010s. But then I listened to Pimp a Butterfly when like came out. And was like, oh, okay, I heard a lot of good things about this album. I listened to it. I think you were texting me about it too. And then, we were talking about it a lot when I was like, hey, I think it's also, I got excited for it because Black of the Berry was one of the first singles too. Yeah. Which, looking back at that, what a crazy single to put out.
You know what? Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
I know that we're going to go in, you want to go in like track per track.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you mentioned the Black of the Berry, I do want to point this out.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I really liked about that song that Kendrick does is the way like as each verse is building, and like you can tell like I like the way that he uses his voice to convey like how like he's getting like a little bit more and more aggressive or irritated.
Super aggressive.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about that is it reminds me of some shit that man I fucking miss. I really like
old school Eminem.
Yeah, like that old school Eminem was just something else, dude.
It's like, crazy. Like the Eminem influence is strong in every Kendrick album I hear.
The thing that I was gonna say is
in such different, unique ways.
Especially, I think he does it really well on the track "Soldier" on the Eminem show.
Oh, like Toy Soldiers or no Soldier?
Soldier.
Yeah. That's a good ass song too.
Like where he like uses his voice to like convey like anger with certain words.
He was on his Pac shit with that.
Yeah,
with that album.
Like that one, like that's and that's even like a Pac influence for Eminem. So like, cause Pac used to do that as well, and that's something that I really like in general. What that artists really do when they use they express emotion through their voice. So that's something that Kendrick does really well on that track.
Yeah, no, and it's just like the fact that it came out with that single when I heard it, like, and then like he we'll talk about more about later about the context of the album, but the shit he was talking about that album was so of the era and like what was important about that time. And it was like, wow, he's really tackling this in like the most aggressive, visceral way possible. And it's like, and then like because I was the first single and that was the single version, which
also
is like
the thing that I thought that was crazy about that track real quick is how the single was different from the version that was on the album.
Yes, and it's just like the way he was just like even promoting the album was a little crazy because it's just like, man, what the fuck? Because like this is after Good Kid, Mad City, people are expecting like Good Kid, Mad City 2 type shit. It's just like this was the first like, and Section 80 to like Good Kid, Mad City was like a crazy transition, but I can't even imagine as like more of a diehard Kendrick fan to see what he was gonna come in after Good Kid, Mad City, and the fact that To Pimp a Butterfly what came just right, not even right after, but like just like what was the follow up to Good Kid, Mad City. I don't think any other artist would like done that shift. Like the fact he did that shift, that was like one of his most radical shifts as an artist. It was like crazy. And then when you listen to the album, this like pure old school jazz, neo soul, funk influence just hits out the fucking gate with Wesley's Theory, which is one of probably my favorite opening track Kendrick's ever made.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's like fucking crazy. The topics he was talking about. I think when coming into this album too, this is one of my favorite mixed albums. This is one of my favorite produced albums. Like the instruments, the sounds, where the sounds are going and where they're coming from. Like from all the instruments in each track, it's just gorgeously mixed, you know, and it's like Kendrick coming in with these weirdo ass fucking voices talking about like the influence of the American economy.
One of my favorite fucking lines in that song is like, "I'll Wesley snipe your ass before
35."
Yeah,
you know, and he's talking. It's just like the influence of like America capitalist towards like young black men and like how that can also fuck them over in the long run because the American educational system has been fucking shit for a very long time. And it's like, what a abrasive opener to come. Imagine you listen to Good Kid, Mad City. People probably listen to Good Kid, Mad City. Probably did not, and still probably do not fuck with his album because of that shift. But like, that's
the one thing that now that you say that is crazy because I remember, I don't know, I don't know if the opinion has changed like nowadays, on this album, but I remember like a few years back, there was actually discussions of like people were like. Some people were like not. Some people actually did not like this album.
I mean, I think it's more of that the sound and what he was doing with that sound. You know, like that was also like the same year that like.
Also, that was the first time where I like actually listened to an album and I completely disagreed with like the people who said that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And but also that was like the same year. Like that was like the year of trap. Like Future came out with like Dirty Sprites 2 and Migos was on the way. Classic. And that's a classic as well and for very different reasons. And I love that fucking album.
That's fucking great, dude.
But this was like so not of the sound of the times. You know what I mean? So like I think the fact that he was willing to just go this direction for it and it was like a big risk in a way. And the fact that he was able to pull it off, it's crazy.
Real quick, not to get sidetracked, just super quick, I hope you can answer it quickly.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the first ever fucking Future song that you heard was?
Fucking your bitch and some Gucci flip flops. That song, of course. It's one of the songs that someone should live by.
You know which one? You know which one I think it is. And funny enough, the reason why I heard it so much it was because it used to be on one of the radio stations that would play on Grand Theft Auto 5. But it was a song that he did with. It was like with a DJ, but I don't remember which DJ it was. But it's a song that's why I couldn't find it for the longest time because I originally thought it was actually a Future song, but I guess it's a DJ song that's just Future's Future. But it's called How It Was.
Yeah.
And that was the first ever Future song that I
was gonna fix the mic, but I was like, we're fucking an hour and it's too late. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like the first Future song that I really remember listening to.
Yeah, that's funny. But
okay, so anyways, what's the second track?
Let's for free interlude. Fucking funny. When I first heard this shit, I was fucking laughing my fucking ass off. And this is when I realized, Kendrick really is a madman that with the voices similar to someone like Andre 3000 was to who was really to go to that artistic pursuit to really find so many different voices and approaches to many different things, and it's the fact that it's we picked cotton, made you rich, now my dick ain't free, you're not trying to fucking abuse us even right now because this country has abused African Americans to just fucking do fucking shit. The fucking American slave trade is one of the worst things to have happened ever in the history of the world, and it's Not only that, his approach was just so fucking funny with his voice, like, this dick ain't free, and he starts fucking spazzing out like all over the place. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, it was something I've never heard ever before, you know. And like, this is coming from, you know, I'm not. I was not.
Wait, isn't that when the like towards the end of the track you hear like the woman that he's like you hear like a woman's voice.
Yeah.
And she's like I'm gonna get my Uncle Sam to fuck you.
Well, this dick ain't free. Like it's just like yeah, no, and I was like, oh shit, that's what the fuck he was talking about. I love how he just like put that shit in perspective right at the end, just in case he didn't pick up the hints during the verse. He gives her right at. He's like, no, let's talk about this. This is talking about like the complete exploitation that America has done, you know. And it's like and I'm just giving like such surface level recounts of what I heard recently. Like if I have more time, I'll go more deeper in analysis. But also
the camera would probably fucking die.
But also there is like so much analysis of this album within the last 10 years.
Listen, you can fucking more smart people talking.
Yeah, we are just people who were really impacted by this album and want to just talk about it real quick on our little podcast, all right? And then fucking King Kunta is still like such a banger, and like you realize that a couple of these are Drake disses.
Oh yeah, a motherfucker with a ghostwriter. What the fuck happened?
You know, it's just like. I was just like, oh wow!
I'm not gonna lie, I really fucking like when you hear the first, like when like the thing pause and then like by the time you hear the next pop,
the funk shall be within you. And then he gets back in. It's like there's lots of psychedelic little moments like that pop in out of nowhere.
The instrumental towards the end of that track is fucking fire.
With the guitar going into like the amount of different approaches of music him and his team were going for here is like commendable. Like especially around this time, I wasn't listening to anything like this, even the influence of this. I wasn't, because I just grew up on like fucking like 90s rock. Like I didn't know much about funk or like fucking like even much about hip hop, you know, but it was just mostly just classic rock or like, but this put me on. This fucking it put me on some game.
After we're done filming this fucking podcast, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna like watch people react to this album on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Like it like goes to so many different places that I did not expect for a rap album to go at all. And even listening to Kendrick's stuff, this fucking blew me by surprise. And then institutionalized with fucking Snoop Dogg, you know, with that chorus, and it's talking about like the institutional influences that are put forth, and like his flows in there, like some of Kendrick's most unique flows are on this fucking album, especially with that track. It was like life's like a box of chocolates. Like the way he's like separating these syllables but still making them rhyme is like some like hardcore rap shit right there. And the beat switch in that song's crazy too. Oh my god, I wish I was able to put more formulated thoughts into this review. I'm sorry, but like just thinking about it more now about like these different instances that like Kendrick and his musical team, including like George Clinton, Soundwave, Thundercat, Anna Wise, a lot of these people, you know, very influential, very important to the album. And then
Anna Wise was a singer, right?
Yeah. And then like after that song, I'm going on it. Do you want to talk about Institutionalized a little more? Is there like a part you like about that song?
Well, I like that song, but it's one of those ones that I don't remember that much.
Yeah.
So that's why I let you go on to. So what's the next one?
These Walls, which is such a fucking good jam about pussy. Like it's such a good jam. If these walls tell you to go deep, it's just like
it's such a jam. It's such a jam about pussy.
It's such a good song about pussy, man. It's just like, and then it goes into like the institutionalized shit of like the dude in the jail cell.
Hey,
it's like,
hey, you heard that song, These Walls? Yeah, it's a good ass.
It's a good ass. It was. And then it goes into the pussy. It's like it's some good peanut butter and pussy jam right there.
Shut the fuck up. Now you ruined it.
You know, and then like, you know, it talks about, and I think within the context of this song and what he was going through within the Good Kid, Mad City tour, and I think this album also helps with reflection because of Mr. Morale of what he was going through during the Good Kid, Mad City tour, with the grief he was dealing with, and like and the other things he was doing on that tour. I think this song was like an embodiment of like going into
the first time I fucked a white bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like in grief things, it's just like it's so fun, even though like if you listen to it, it's about him getting pussy, but like the way the poetic descriptions he's talked about, like how these walls can talk, and it's like and the different things he says about what they say, and it's like I'm saying it's like a lot. I'm trying to reserve it. It's very poignant, but also still being crass and crude.
The instrumentals on that were amazing.
It's so good, especially the ending where like he flips it from talking about vagina to like people with the jail cells and how like the and then I didn't realize this until a recent listen.
That track also had a music video, right?
Yes, and that music video is crazy too. And then this song talks about like how Kendrick is actually fucking a girl whose man is in jail, and it's like it was like damn. And then it goes into the continuation of the poem he's reciting throughout the entire album. And then which also put me in like, oh my god, there's still shit I'm here catching 10 years later than I didn't like last time I fucking. And it's been a while. I don't really listen to this album as much anymore because like I rather listen to like GNX or like Damn or even like Mr. Morale because that has a lot more songs that I'm into nowadays. And then like I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same. I'm like, oh shit. I also I get why he would put that at the end of this song of these walls.
Like connecting. There's a like just so we can point out there is a poem that like goes that he recites throughout the end of like essentially each track till it gets to the crescendo at the end. But we'll get to that.
And then, like, one of his best songs ever comes after that is You. This giant fucking breakdown of just criticisms to himself. And it's
freaking anonymous or the iconic yell at the beginning of the track.
Yeah, and it's like, I can't, when I heard that in the context of, I can't hear it without laughing anymore because of the memes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the fucking memes did ruin that shit, huh?
Yeah. It's like, just like, cry for help turns into he's like when I fucking like have a minor inconvenience and it's just that scream.
No, but that was actually real quick. This is one that I actually do want to talk about because this is a track that I really fucked with a lot when I first heard the album. Just because I like the way that I actually like the second part of the track a lot more than I do the first part. Because that second part where he's just like breaking down and he's just like talking about all the shit, like about how like how I guess one of his like friends got shot back home and he like didn't go to see him.
Yeah, because he thought he was gonna be alive, but like he didn't.
But then he didn't make it. Like just that all that shit, like just all like pointing out like all these vulnerabilities. And just being super honest, like that was something that I thought was really fucking dope. No, and so that is why I like when I first heard this song, like this was one of the tracks that I had on repeat. Yeah,
and I think it also bringing back another Mr. Morale thing where he let us in more about like these really usually when someone has like a big and critically acclaimed debut like Good Kid, Mad City, it's like like Kendrick, it changes the world maybe more of a positive view. But while he was going on tour, getting really establishing a name for himself, a lot of this fucked up shit was happening in his life that he really couldn't be there for. So like and United in Grief, he displays that really well. But here, like it brings in context with a track like You, is like he really was going not only the influence of him going to Africa and seeing like Nelson Mandela's like fucking like jail cell, but also the things that were happening, in his hometown with his friends. And
speaking of which, I'm just noticing it's fucking sunny now. We told you guys.
It would have been fine eventually, but like it brings in context of how, but it just makes it that a track like You just as powerful and poignant and like self-reflective to the full. Like he's always been so vulnerable to how he really feels about himself and what and all that. It's really crazy.
Anyway, real quick before we move on to the next one, what time are we at?
104.
Like really?
Yeah.
Only an hour and 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
You know. And then where are we going? We're going through this album. Yeah, I know. It seems like we're rushing, but like I feel like if we had more time, we would talk about it more. I feel like we are. I feel like you're not talking enough.
Well, because you're fucking like you're saying the most shit.
Yeah,
and then you're just going by. Have you noticed that you're literally saying everything, and then you just go on to the next track.
I know. I apologize.
You're like, oh, what do you think, Raul?
I know. You can always jump in whenever you want. You can always jump in. Just to go in me. You know, it's just like.
Shut up! Never fucking say that to me again.
You know, but like.
So let's
and the next one's all right.
All right, so that's that one was one that really popped off.
Mm-hmm. It became the song for the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
It was that crazy. You know, it's like obviously it's powerful. Obviously you probably heard it already.
Yeah, that's one that I really like too. Just the way that he approaches it, and again with like his flows. That was one that I actually really liked too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the beat by Pharrell too is like nuts. A nuts banger. He always makes the nuttiest bangers. You know, it's a crazy. You know, and
how it starts out with like that kind of like choir-esque, like kind of like
the choir loop or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like and then it just goes banging in, and it's just like crazy. And then the controversial line at the time was like, Po want to kill us in the streets for a show. You know, and it's like that really caught people off guard for some reason. You know, it's just like it's just facts, but Fox News is like, I don't like it, you know, and like crazy, but like very important track, obviously, and very fucking dope. I don't feel like there's not much to say about it for me personally. You know, so it's good. It's really fucking good. And then one of my favorite tracks on here is For Sale, the interlude, where like it goes into like this fucking psycholetic. Oh, my fucking dog. Oh, my fucking dog? What the fuck am I praying for my fucking dog for? God damn it.
Wait, that is gonna be such a fucking good clip. Did you just pray to your fucking dog?
Oh, my dog. It was like my fucking two Shih Tzus. I'm like, I don't need it. Oh my god, I think the weed's like also like fucking
That's gonna
like
be a good clip, dude.
Oh my god, oh my good dog.
That's gonna be such a fun. I'm gonna like hashtag it like dog lover and shit.
Oh, gross! What the fuck, dog lover?
Well, what do you mean? What do you think that fucking hashtag? Do you think that's like a fucking like?
I'm praying to God.
No, but do you think that's like some sort of fucking
like
bestiality hashtag?
No, I'm not even thinking about that either. Why the fuck did you bring that up?
Then why'd you make a big deal about saying dog lover? That's literally a fucking meme or a hashtag.
I'm just shocked
for
that
people that love their fucking dog.
I don't say "oh my dog" as like I'm not even. You know what? You're fine.
You fucked this whole shit up. So
you fucked it up for saying that I consider it to be.
Because why'd you make a big deal out about it in the first place? That's why I thought you made a big deal about it.
You know what? You're right.
Then what the fuck? Shut up. Move on to the next track.
No, fuck you. I didn't even start talking about this one.
Shut the fuck up and talk about it.
I think
you can't even talk about it.
No, I think you should cut that out.
No. That was fucking great.
It was fucking really good because I was like, damn, he caught me, but I don't want to be wrong. As long as you argue for me. For Sale's a very psychedelic type track where it feels like he's just traveling through this fucking hell and he's being warned by like fucking God or something that like fucking like the devil knows the Bible too, which people be like, pray for the Bible, but you don't think Mr. Lucy doesn't fucking know about the Bible? Like he's in it and shit, you know? So like, be careful with that too, which I think is such one of the most poignant fucking things I've ever heard is that line, you know, because like they, you know, and the way it goes into like the perspective of Lucy and like the things she promises to Kendrick as he's rising up to be like a really good rapper, and the way his voice for them, for the devil he's portraying, you know, it is so fucking crazy and unique and so hyper and like fucking Like these are voices I've never heard from Kendrick and will never
so
hear
you know
after.
you're gonna hate me.
It's like, oh shit.
You know who he kind of sounded like in some parts?
What?
Do you remember the fucking red dude from the Powerpuff Girls?
He's fucking him. He sounds like him.
Like in some parts he did, like when he did like the super fast, like high pitched thing.
Yeah. That's and that well, it makes sense. Imagine he's like, yeah, I was watching Powerpuff Girls, and I was like, this is good devil. So like, I did that for the song, you know. And then it's so dumb. Fucking hate this shit, but I love this song though. And the next one's a really good one too that not a lot of people talk about. Mama, you know, where he goes back home and talks about like how he's always learning stuff, whether he's going home to Compton, even though he traveled, learned all this shit, you know, into the industry and like has so much access to a lot of different things. Going home, each time he goes home, both in Compton and to Africa, you know, he's always looking at something new that he never expected before, you know, and no matter what, you know. And then yeah, I really, especially his lyricism of that is fucking insane. His flows are insane in this song.
Fuck, wait, you know which track? I don't know. Do you know what track? Because there's a track on there, but I don't remember what bar from, or I don't know what bar the song's from. Mm-hmm. But he has one, and I don't think it's Mama. I'm thinking it might be Hood Politics. But there's no, it's not Hood Politics, but there's a track where he has a whole verse about like meeting this kid like that resembled his features.
Yeah, that's Mama.
Oh, that is one of my favorite verses on this.
Album. It's just like what a way to create like his storytelling on this album is like fucking like insane and so detailed. Like you see, like it feels like a good ass novel. Like it's just like he's really describing the images right in your head.
Oh, and the way how like it breaks down into like that whole different instrumental, like towards the end that just fades out.
Yeah, no, and it's like, oh yeah, that instrument, the way he ends these songs too, and the way these songs transition into each other is like probably his best sequenced like work today. Like I think the sequencing is his album is like undeniably masterful, you know, the way each song transitions and adds to each other, you know. And there's like a certain flow he has where he's like, remember scribble and scratch and diligence, sentences backwards, visit and freestyle ciphers for your reaction. And it's just like the way there's like MF Doom type like rhymes within rhymes, like flows, and it was like, even now listening to it, I'm like the way he was executing that was very impressive, very skilled. And then the next track, is there anything else you just want to talk about those? Yeah. Okay. Hood Politics. Yeah. Crazy. Because I feel like this definitely came after
Call me on Shamika phone.
So yeah. Did I expect you to...
That's like what I remember most from the fucking track. I love that part.
Oh my god. And then not only that, this definitely feels like all that like control shit, like all that energy, like he probably was built up in from that and the controversies surrounding that, especially how Drake felt about that. Yeah. Like went straight into this track. Like the way he's able to talk about all these different difficult subject matters while also still infusing his personal aggression towards the hip hop game is like so good.
The Crips and Red Blood again.
That's what's crazy. I'm like I never heard that in my fucking life. That's a crazy comparison, but it's true. You know, which side are you fucking governing and shit like that. And then like when he's like even at the end, I was like, yeah, I'm still juggling the two coasts. Like, and then it's like, you know, I opened up Pandora's box and see what's happening, and then like talk about meeting with Jay, and then Jay-Z even saying to him, yo, that shit fucked up the game. Like, I think this song is still an establishment of how much of a powerhouse artist and fearful with my voice crack, fearful artist that's like fucking how Drake says Kendrick. He's like, Kendrick Lamar? And then,
I fucking hate you.
And you know, how like fucking like aggressive he still can be on the fucking pen. And then how the poem is at the end of this song is able to transition with the instrumental of the next song beautifully into the song itself. How much a dollar cost? Yeah, which is one of my favorite Kendrick songs.
God. Wait, no, now you want to talk about fucking storytelling?
Oh man, this is one of the I think both of us can agree that this is one of our favorite Kendrick songs.
Yeah, the fucking storytelling on this is just like insane.
You know, and it's like, and it gets us, not only gives us a certain perspective of Kendrick, where he's like acting a little more selfishly, of like being like, I fucking built this shit on my own, no handouts, like nothing. Everybody is still giving me shit, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking give shit back to nobody. And I know this motherfucker is like doing shit to himself that's not healthy, so why would I want to contribute that? You know, and the way he's describing that, you know, he's like the Zulu tongue, my American tongue lyric. You know, it's just like the way he's describing the environment he's in, you know, going up for the gas, you know, and every time it ends, he's like, how much $1 costs, you know, and the ending itself, like, it's just like, turns out the homeless man was actually God, and like you lost your spot in heaven because you chose not to give. What was that one lyric
that he said where he was like, he's looking back, I'm aiming a bat at his neck.
If I ever look back at something aiming a bat at his neck, like he's like talking about like, I really don't like looking at this man right now. He's really making me fucking mad, you know, and the way the storytelling just ebbs and flows into it, the emotions too. And then you get the ending sung by Ronald Isley, and it's like, first of all, crazy. He's got classic musicians that paved the way for black music from the 60s and 70s till on this album, which is like, I think this album is such a perfect way to like pay homage to the people, to the musicians and the people who fought for you beforehand. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like he was really going through all that because How Much $1 Costs also is set place when he was in Africa, you know, visiting, you know, for the first time in his life, visiting the jail cell of Mandela, you know, which, you know, has said is like that specific spot like influenced how he wanted to approach this album as well. You know, and I think the storytelling, the existentialism of it, of like how like maybe Ronald Isley singing how he could get back this redemption, you know, and I think there's been other people who've analyzed the shit out of this one song alone. We just want to say this is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, so what's
the next one? What is the next one? The transitions. Complexion, A Zulu Love, Rhapsody. Yeah. Killing the fuck.
By the way, first time I ever heard of Rhapsody.
Killing the fuck out of this verse. And like LL, you lose 2 times. And it's just like, and then it's such a powerful, positive message that both Kendrick Lamar and Rhapsody are talking about.
This was another special track for me because this, like I said, this was the first time I ever heard of Rhapsody.
Mm-hmm. And she killed this shit.
Yeah, she was absolutely amazing on this.
And not only that, you know, complexion is also a big talking point within like Mexican communities too, especially just like such a variety of skin colors in the Mexican community. Go from all, you know, and
like,
then,
like white Mexicans trip me out. So.
Yeah, like if we look at each other, we're like, you know, you know. So it's like it's
not us. Fool. I'm talking about the motherfuckers that look like a Chad, and they're like, no, my name's Hector.
And he speaks better Spanish than us. It was like, oh wow, and it's like it's just as big as a problem as it is in like the Mexican community as it is here. But like the way they talk about like the disintegration of the Willie Lynch theory and like even how that was even brought up in the first place, like it's really crazy how truly racist motherfuckers are. Like it you know, even with like the Willie Lynch theory and like just everything in between of how like, you know, they pit black people against each other because of the actual color of their skin and the colorism within the black community that still is heavy. I mean, colorism in every community, that's still a big problem now, you know, and it's like, I think it's such like, but the way they approached it was so beautiful and positive. But then the ending of the song is the transition of Blacker the Berry, which makes Blacker the Berry even a crazier song because of the placement. Oh, like it's complexion, A Zulu Love, and then Blacker the Berry, and it's like what a way to not only sequence the shit but transition to the most like a more positive type song to the most aggressive song on the fucking album. And we've always talked about it a lot, how like very relevant it was at the time too, like how Kendrick Lamar even called out himself to being like a hypocrite, which he would later do on future albums. In fact, his future albums do tackle that well.
Like that final. The only thing that I have left to say about The Black is Berry, aside from that, it's a really amazing track. Is that I really like the way, like I really like the final verse on that, like the way that he ended it, like actually, like like pointing out like his hypocrisies and stuff like that. It was really cool.
No, and it's like he was so aggressive on that shit. Like
Like
it was
why, like when he ends it when he's like, why would I weep when Trayvon Martin was on the street when gang banging make me kill a blacker than me?
Yeah,
like that shit was crazy.
No, it was like, oh whoa, he's like he is thinking about this a lot. He is like right there. Like, and that was a very controversial way to end the track. That like got a lot of people talking. It's like it was crazy that even Kendrick Lamar would even approach a song like that in that way, such an aggressive way, but it was so beautifully done. And the way he ends too has that little instrumental break at the end, like to just calm things down and like go into the next track, which is "You Ain't Gotta Lie," which is also I think a very underrated track with a very powerful message about not trying to conform to like what's popular, trying to force people to try to like you, and it's like I think the aesthetics of that song really complement it really well because it does feel even more positive, like a positive approach to the subject matter. No, that chorus is so catchy, and like the way it was using like G-funk elements in that song too, I thought was very like cool. And I think that song is probably one of the most like face forward type songs in the album, but also I think it's still like a very important thing to say. It's like you ain't gotta lie to kick it. You don't gotta lie, and that chorus is so good, like you said. Instrumental's good, message powerful. And the next song is the album version of I, which I think is way better than the single version. Even though the single version is cool, I think the way that this is just approached, even like to have it be like a live band, a live stadium, to have that in the track, and then like his live performance, and then especially the ending.
Yeah.
Like how he flips the N-word around. It was like, listen, they, the slave master just fucking flipped this word to make it the worst word ever, but like it was originally meant for like things, and it's still relevant how white people just use like black culture and try to twist it to like like the word woke. It originally meant to like just keep your eye out because you fucking dumb fucking idiot cunt. I fucking hate you. God damn, you fucking.
Come on, you could have seen that one coming.
He goes, no, I didn't, because I thought you were better than that. But I guess not. But like the flip of the word.
Have that high opinion of me.
He's like, no, I don't. But like most people don't. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Fuck you. Most people don't. Bitch.
With a bitch. I listen. People think I'm like a fucking idiot, which I am. I am a fucking idiot sometimes. But with this album, this fucking album's amazing. The way he flips like that.
Okay, so what's the next track?
Really fucking good. I'm so tired now. Oh shit. Next track is the final track, Mortal Man.
Yeah. So this is the crescendo that we alluded to earlier. This is when, towards the end of this track, it's the whole buildup of the poem, and then you realize that it's leading up to a conversation with Tupac. Mm-hmm. And the Tupac side of it was actually pulled from an interview that he did back in the day.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't even released. It was like a German interview that like was kept in the vaults until Kendrick. I don't even know how he got a hold of it. I think he's told the story before, but like I do not remember at the moment. But like the fact that he was able to be like, oh. I wonder if like I don't even know what the timeline of like when he got those interviews. I don't know if he was making To Pimp a Butterfly and then found it, or like one of the foundations of To Pimp a Butterfly was this. So I would be interested in seeing of like when he got this interview and when he decided to put it within this album, because like at the first part of the song is the song itself, which is talks about like. If shit's still a fan, is you still a fan? Which is like
like if shit hits the fan, is you still a fan?
He was like, thanks for repeating my words, and then it's just like, which is is not the first thing someone said. Eminem has said in that Obi Trice song, when I forgot what it's called too. It was like the shit hit. I'm so tired. I was gonna sing, but I forgot the fucking words. So I was just gonna be like, Like, well, it's hard, or you say you are, or you're gonna run and get your bodyguard. What you gonna do when shit hits the fan? I ain't gonna sit or stand like a man. I ain't as hard as it
I
say
think
you
it's
are.
literally I think that's literally the name of the song.
It's the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, I think that's because I know it's from it. I know it's from Obi Trice.
Yeah,
it's on
yeah,
the
yeah,
Obi
yeah.
Trice album, but I know exactly what song you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's literally the name.
You know, so like, you know, when the shit hits the fan thing is like that, but like I think this context, especially like he's like, you know, the way he like, not only is it like a tackling of like, will my fans like be with me despite any controversy, but also like it's him reanalyzing like this fame shit of like, I don't know, you know, I gotta watch out for family, I gotta watch out for close friends, anything, cats, dogs, the sky, you know. He's like, and that's a type of paranoia you can only get when you're really blow the fuck up the way Kendrick did, you know, I think that fear and paranoia, especially with the grief and like the actions he was doing within the time, I think that type of behavior would make sense, especially in this album, especially. And I think it's such a, you know, and he mentions being in Mandela's cell in that song and how that really like, you know, changed his shit, you know, of how he approached this album.
Yeah, and just the way like the whole conversation that he has with Tupac at the end was amazing.
That caught me so fucking off guard.
Yeah, like that was really fucking amazing, and the way that he ends it, where he's like asking Pac a question and like
he's not there.
Yeah, and he doesn't respond.
You know, and it's like the way he just ends like that, just like what an anticlimax that like hits so hard. I think is one of the most like, because you know, I think one of the main influences in this album, I don't know if Kendrick has outright said it, but I know he's a fan of this group of Little Brother, the group with Big Pooh, Fonte, and Ninth Wonder. They made an album called The Minstrel Show in 2005, which is like a concept album about like a talk show, reality show.
I
like,
recently heard a track off that for the first time that I really fucking enjoyed.
It's one of my favorite albums of all time. So I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if like that type of like concept also came from that, where it's like everything is just like comes here and there and is infused beautifully at the end. Like it also has an ending that feels like a brief cutoff, but it ends. The impact is so well done, and how the album title "To Pimp a Butterfly" really doesn't come throughout the entire album until the end of the album. Like he doesn't even he mentions the pimping and the butterfly. And like that whole poem, Tupac, just in case people got confused. And then it's just like, what a way to like just keep the title of the album to be like, what the fuck is this? Right until the end, right until you could consume all of this different type of music and subject matter and rhymes and like this music to your ear until like it ends in like a very crazy conversation. How he wrote that conversation too. Like, cause like, you know, Tupac's not talking to fucking Kendrick, so Kendrick had to be like, okay, what do I say here? What do I edit out? What do I edit in? So how do I approach it to where it feels like I'm having an authentic conversation to Tupac? That's really fucking hard to do. Yeah. Just that concept alone is like really hard to do, and it probably required a lot of editing and like rewriting and planning and all that stuff, you know, and it leaves a very drastic, powerful impact that goes completely right back to Wesley's theory. And it's like, wow, you can't, like, by the time like the album replays or like the album just stops, you're like, what did I just hear? That was something, when I first heard that and the way it ended, I even now, I listened to it yesterday, I had fucking chills down my spine because of how abruptly and powerful it ends. Like, I think this is one of the best executed albums I've ever heard. Not just hip-hop, but of any genre.
Yeah, so, like, just kind of to wrap this up, this was a very, not only important, but impactful album, not just for us personally, but just for music in general. It was very, like, fun and eye-opening to see the different sounds that Kendrick implemented on this album, not just with like his flows and his voice, but also like the instrumentals. Because again, like Michael pointed out, it was something that people probably did not expect from him, especially coming off Good Kid, Mad City. So just for him to be like brave enough to try like a whole completely different sound and just the masterful job that he did of doing it, it was really incredible to see. And I'm glad that I was around for the time that this album came out, and I'm glad that I actually really, really enjoyed it when I first listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is definitely by far next to, well, I would say that
it's in my top 3.
yeah, my favorite now I would say it would be GNX, just because that's the type of sound that I had been wanting from Kendrick for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mainly why that album is number 1 for me right now. But good, To Pimp a Butterfly is definitely number 2.
Yeah, and I think Tip and Butterfly is probably like my 3rd favorite Kendrick album. You know, and it's like it used to be my favorite, and it used to be one of my favorite albums ever.
Yeah, prior to GNX, this was my favorite Kendrick album.
Yeah, you know, and To Pimp a Butterfly is still one of my favorite albums ever. Like I will always, even though I don't listen to it as much as other Kendrick albums, because I think it's like a lot to take in, even for me. I still think this is one of his best executed albums for sure. Like everything about it is gorgeously, masterfully made, and I'm glad even 10 years later, you know, Kendrick is still reigning shit, and a lot of the things he said in this fucking album, he fucking did and came true now. You know, I think it's just, you know, 10 years later, this still sounds like the classic it was when it was released. Yeah. And it's an hour and 30. I'm a little tired, so if I apologize. You know what?
Yeah, you know, okay, so that's gonna do it.
Apologina.
So now we're gonna get into our daily recommendations to wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up.
So,
obviously, we give it 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
obviously,
10 out of 10.
Yeah, obviously.
Easily.
We don't. You fucking didn't you fucking know that?
Fucking ice spice out of my face.
That cover is so ass, bro. I fucking hate that shit. You know what? I would go with the classic. And I think I played this a song off this album recently, and even you said you didn't know it. So I'm gonna recommend it. One of Kendrick's first mixtapes that when he hit the scene, full blast, Overly Dedicated, 2010, Kendrick Lamar, and there's some fucking bangers on here. You know, from fucking PP.
You really are fucking tired.
Man, PNP 1.5, Alien Girl, Opposite Track, fucking Barbed Wire. Barbed Wire literally is one of my favorite Kendrick songs. So, and She Needs Me, and then like the song that's not on streaming, that's one of his favorites, one of his famous songs that a lot of people love, is The Hard Part 2. It's not on streaming, but it is part of the Overly Dedicated mixtape. So I would recommend that, especially if you're a newer Kendrick fan and haven't really listened to the classics yet. That's a really good one to go towards. And you said you haven't listened to it, right? Or you listened to it a while ago?
No, I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, no, that's a really special one. It really proves how fucking like talented he was from the get go.
All right, so my recommendation is actually going to be a song that I recently heard last night, because it is actually the theme song to Raising Kanan, which is one of the Power spin-off shows from 50 Cent.
Oh my god, I thought you were going to say Raising Cane's. I'm like, Raising Cane's got a theme song?
Shut the fuck up. But, so, yeah, Raising Kanan. I fucking hate you, because now you got me thinking, did I accidentally say Canes? Or did I say...
You said it right, but I heard Canes.
I fucking hate you. No, so it's the theme song to one of the Power spin-offs called Raising Kanan. And the 50 Cent actually does the theme song, and surprisingly, it's not terrible.
Okay, that's good. A not terrible 50 Cent song.
Yeah, but the thing that I liked specifically because there's the original version that they used for the show, but then there's a remix with NLE Choppa, and then also on the remix, 50 Cent has a second verse instead of just having like the two in the original. Or no, instead of having like two verses to himself in the original. But it's a really good track. So it's called Part of the Game, and it's by 50 Cent, and it has specifically the remix with NLE Choppa. But yeah, that's gonna be my recommendation for today.
And that's our time. We talked about a lot of different things. I think this was a fun episode.
I still think the contrast of Ice Spice and fucking Kendrick Lamar is wild.
That's gonna be a fun thumbnail. You know what? Just add the Ukraine flag in the middle of that. I think that just Ice Spice, the Ukraine flag, and To Pimp a Butterfly.
Like, I hate you.
And then the poster of 8th grade.
Right, I fucking hate you. Right, so
y'all have a good one.
Next episode.
Peace. Be nice, or else you'll be a dick. And no one wants dicks unless you're an asshole.